I'm sick and tired of being told that Britain is a racist country. Priti Patel is under massive pressure to justify her claim that 70% of those coming across the Channel in small dinghies are economic migrants and not genuine asylum seekers. I can't help but wonder whether or not things should be the other way round. Shouldn't it be up to those people coming over here to prove that they are genuine asylum seekers and not economic migrants, not us having to prove that they aren't? Priti Patel's claim seems to centre around the demographics of those arriving on our shores. A Home Office source revealed that of the 8,500 people arriving by small boat in 2020, 87% were men and 74% were men aged between 18 and 39. So women and children seem a lot less likely to flee war, apparently. Now, Dr. Peter Walsh, who's a researcher at the Migration Observatory at the University of Oxford, said that the Home Office reports that 59% of claims filed between 2017 and 2019 inclusive were ultimately successful. That's a pretty high number, isn't it? And according to Migration Watch, we haven't actually sent back a single Channel migrant who's landed on our shores so far this year. Figures out today show that crossings in October this year were 6 times higher than they were in October last year. That's 2,669 last month compared to 475 in the same month in 2020. So let's break this down. We're going to have a record year of arrivals and potentially a full year of none of those arrivals being returned to even just another safe country, let alone a war zone. Right then, so can we all just stop thinking for a single second that we're a racist country, or that we're not welcoming, or that our Home Secretary hates asylum seekers, or that this government doesn't like foreign people, or even that it doesn't like illegal immigrants, which by definition a lot of these people are. And then let's stop the idea that our population is, of course, racist. If I was a homeless military veteran, I'd be pitching a tent outside one of these many migrant hotels and begging to know why we can find shelter for those people, but not our armed forces. If I was a single mum living in squalid social housing, unable to get a council to come round and repair it, I'd stand outside one of those hotels with my child and demand, again, to know why we have good accommodation for these people and not her. If I was someone who'd lost their job as a result of this government's response to the pandemic and was evicted by their landlord, I'd do the same thing again. In this country now, there are hundreds of thousands of these people, and yet we're not seeing that kind of response, are we? Because we're not a racist country. But we are decent, we are principled, and I think it's fair to suggest that we can only take so much. I think this government, but more so really those calling for essentially an open-door approach to asylum claims and illegal immigration, should tread very carefully now. How long is it before the population stands up and says, actually, we want to be looked after as well?